Okay, so for the next 3 questions, we're going to be using this data right here. I'm just going to pull the important things that we need from here, and then I'm just going to get rid of this part. So in this problem, we're given an average salary. So that would be our mean. So let me just write that here. Mean equals 25,000. And then we have our standard deviation. So standard deviation of 5,000. Okay, so now we can just focus on the problem. So for 24, they want to know what the probability, so what is the probability that a randomly selected LU graduate will have a starting salary of at least 31,000. So I'm just going to write 24 right here, and let's draw this out. I think it helps to visualize it. So we have our mean of 25,000, and we have our standard deviation 5,000, and we want to know, so at least 31,000. So 31,000 is somewhere here, 31,000. So what does at least mean of at least 31,000? That means it has to be 31,000 or more, right? At least means 31,000 or more. So that means we're trying to calculate this area. So hopefully you guys remember that whenever we're trying to calculate probability, we use norm.dist, and Excel normally calculates to the left, but in this problem, we're trying to get the area to the right. So that means we have to do equals norm, nope. See, there we go. So do equals 1 minus norm.dist, and then we do 31,000, because that's our X. Our mean, 25,000. Standard deviation, 5,000, comma 1 or true. And when you plug that into Excel, you're going to get 0.1151. So that's your answer. So we can see that right here. Answer is D. Okay. Let's move on to 25. Let's move this up a little bit. Okay. I'll do this. So it's like a fresh start. Okay. So we want to know what the maximum and minimum starting salaries of the middle 95% are. So let's visualize this. Okay. So we want these two values, right? We want this minimum and this maximum of 95%. So I think the easiest way to do this is, well, okay, let me explain it. What is the area of these two combined? That's going to be 95% minus 100%, right? So when we do that, we're going to get 5%. That means the area of this and this combined should be 5%. That also means that this area is going to be 2.5 because the area of these two are equal. So if both of them together is 5%, right? You do 5% divided by 2, and that gives you 2.5%. So this is 2.5%, this is 2.5%. Okay. Now we have a function to calculate these values, these X values, when we have a probability, when we have a percentage. So that would be, we'd use norm dot inverse, right? You can use norm dot inverse to get our two values. So let's first do this value, this lower value. So again, Excel naturally calculates to the left, so we can just use regular norm dot inverse, and then our probability, so 0.01. 0.025. And then we need our mean, which if you guys remember, that was in the problem, it would be 25,000. So 25,000, put that right here. And then our standard deviation, which was 5,000. I'm just going to put this right below here so it doesn't go into here. 5,000, and then that's it. So we plug this into Excel. And when we do that, we're going to get 15,200. So that's one of our values. Now let's get this value right here. So I'm going to go here. This is the area, or this is to the right, right? This is to the right. So we need to do 1 minus if we want value to the right. So we're going to do norm dot inverse. And here we do 1 minus 0.025, comma, and then our mean, our standard deviation. So we said our mean was 25,000, standard deviation was 5,000. Again, this was just given in the problem. Okay, so there's that. So we're going to plug that into Excel. And when we do that, we're going to get 34,800. Okay. So that means the lower value is going to be 15,200. Our upper value is going to be 34,800. So there we go. That's our answer, D. All right, let's move on to the next question. So number 26. Let me get a piece of paper. Yes. Alrighty. So this one may be a little bit tricky. I know some people struggle with this problem, but let's try to work on this together. Okay, so if 68 of the recent graduates have salaries of at least 35,600, how many students graduated this year from this university? So let's first figure out the probability of students who got 35,600 and above, because that's what at least means. So let me just draw this out really quick. We said our mean was 25,000. Our standard deviation is 5,000, and we want this 35,600, right? So we want, it says at least, so 35,600 and above. That's what that means. So the way that we calculate this area is we use norm dot dist, but because we want the area to the right, we have to do 1 minus. So equals 1 minus norm dot dist, our x value, 35,600. Our mean is 25,000. Our standard deviation is 5,000, comma 1. And when you do this, you're going to get 0.017. So that's the first part of the question. Now, to get the answer of how many students graduated, we have to take this number, 68, and we divide it by the probability, this percentage, this answer that we got here. So 0.017. And when we do that, we get 4,000.